I'm Yasmina from Jessie Herc, and today I will show you how I make my wire wrap Tree of Life rings with a gemstone. And these rings are also adjustable to size, so it's great if you're making them for someone else. So what you'll need is your basic wire wrapping tools. I have 4 types of pliers here that I use. You'll need something round about the size of your finger. I'm just using an old lip gloss, as you can see. I have 2 types of wire. I'm using 1.2 and 0.3 millimeter wire. And of course you'll need a stone. I have a moonstone here, and just make sure it has a nice flat back. So I start off with the thicker wire. Just straighten it out. Okay, and I just cut out a piece. Now I start at the middle, and I just use my fingers to bend it. And I just want to make a frame for the stone. So just use your fingers or the pliers, whatever is easier for you. And just try if it fits every now and then. Okay, so now that you have your frame made, and you want just a little bit of space left between the stone and the wire. You don't want it to be completely touching. So now I just take this and twist the wire out, and the other one as well. And straighten them out. And you want the wires to come out in the middle, which is sometimes not that easy to do. So mine isn't quite in the middle, so I'm going to fix it a bit. So if you're using hard wire like I am, try to make as little adjustments as possible, because if you do too many, the wire can break. So be gentle. Okay, so I'm happy with the frame now. So now we're going to start making the back. I take the 0.3mm wire, just take a piece, and I just attach it to the frame. So I just wrap it around 3 or 4 times. There we go. And now I wrap the 2 wires together so that the frame doesn't move, and wrap it around one more time. There. Okay, now I just use my fingers to make a loop here, and then hold it with my fingers and place the wire inside the loop so you get this shape. And you just continue doing these loops until you come all the way around. And the last one. Okay, so now I just put the wire inside the first loop. And then out in the middle. And then the second loop. And again out in the middle. Make sure that every time you place the wire inside the loop that you tighten it. It has to be very tight. Okay, and now that you've come to all the way around, just wrap the wire around the frame a few times just to attach it. There we go. Now I cut the 2 wire ends. And I use the small pliers to smooth out the wire end. You don't want anything sticking out. Okay. And then I just use my fingernail to push the wire down at the frame. so that if you place the stone inside, it sits nicely in there. Okay, and now we're going to start with the tree. So again, I take my 0.3 millimeter wire, and I'm going to take 7 pieces. So I think this should be enough. That's 2. Six and 7. So I just use the pliers to straighten out the ends, because otherwise they just get caught on everything while you're working with them. Okay, and now that I have my 7 pieces, I just fold them all in half like this. Okay. Now I just need to figure out where to put the pieces. As you can see, you have these barriers here now, so you have to figure out where the pieces will go so that it's sort of symmetrical. And then I just take one at a time and just attach it on the frame. I wrap it around twice. You don't have to do it twice, you can do it just once, but I do it so that I get some space between the 2 wires so that they're more evenly distributed. Okay, so we've got 2 in this little space. I'm going to put 3 in this one. Okay, and the last 2. Now I use my fingernail again and just kind of fold the wires a bit. There. I take my gemstone, and I just grab all the wires and just twist all of them together. There. Take the stone out and just take about half wires. Just split them like this. Now you want the wires to split somewhere in the middle of the stone, which isn't happening here. As you can see, I have it's a little bit too high, so I'm going to fix this by just distributing the wires differently, and I'm just going to lower the whole thing. Let's try it again. Still a bit too high. Okay, now I've gotten a little bit too low. Okay, so I'm happy with this one. Make sure that you have 7 wires on each side, and then you just take the small pliers and twist once. Then I take the bottom 2 and take the others up, and again just grab and twist 1 or 2 times. I grab all of them again, just make 1 turn, and again I take 2 and take the others away. Okay, and now I do the exact same thing on the other side. So I just take all the wires and wrap them once. Just take the bottom 2 and move the others away. the tree is finished. Now I just take the stone. Now if you're using moonstone or labradorite, something with a flash, make sure you place it the right direction so that the flash really shines out. So I'm gonna put it like this, and I'm going to first attach the top two wires. So and I'm going to cross them. So just place the wire between the stone and the frame and just wrap it around a few times. I usually wrap it 3 times for each wire. There we go, and the other one. Okay. Now I'm going to attach the wire at the bottom, so this one. Now if you see that your tree is starting to tilt, just fix it while you're still working so that it doesn't stay that way. And I also take the bottom wire on the other side and attach this as well. Okay, so the stone is now in place. Now you just have to attach all the other wires that are left. So it doesn't really matter where you start. Okay, so now that you have all the wires attached, now we're going to twist the branches of the tree. Just, you'll need small pliers for that, and just take each wire and just twist it a bit. So I'm doing this for two reasons actually. One is that by doing this, I make the wires really fit snugly against the stone. And the other is, if sometimes you make some mistakes or the tree doesn't turn out quite the way you wanted it to, this is a great way to kind of hide your mistakes, cover them up. There we go. Now I'm going to cut all these wire ends because I don't need them anymore. And I cut them about 1 or 2 millimeters away from the frame. And now I just push them towards the stone and try to get them between the stone and the frame. That way you don't have any wires sticking out. So that they don't stab you in your finger or get caught on your clothes and so on. Okay, so as you can see, I've cut this one a bit too long, and so I just fix it easily. Okay, and check the tree, make sure it's centered. Mine isn't quite in the middle. There we go. And now I also twist the roots. Just take the pliers and just grab randomly the wires and just twist them. There we go. Press them against the stone so they fit nicely. Okay. And then I also press the whole tree tightly against the stone, but make sure you do that very gently, otherwise you might break the stone. Okay. So the tree is finished. Now we just need to deal with this. So I take the pliers and I just fold the two wires straight down. Now I try it on my finger, and the wire should go straight down and the stone should stay on your finger the way it should when it's actually made into a ring. So this is good. Now I take my lip gloss, place the stone and hold it firmly. Now I just wrap both wires around. There we go. And I check whether the ring sits the way it should. It's a little bit to this side, so I'm going to fix it a bit. Try it again. Okay, so I'm happy with how it sits now. And I cut the wires a little bit above the frame. If you're afraid you're going to cut out too much, you can leave it longer, and you can still cut more if it's too long. Now just twist the wire all the way like this, and the other one as well. Okay, so as you can see, it's too long, so I'm going to cut some more. There. And again, just twist it down. And the other one. There we go. Okay, so it's still a little bit too long, because if I wanted to place it on this finger, I would have to squeeze it and it would stick out. So I'm going to cut it just a little bit more. And there we go. So I hope you like this video. I'm going to make more in the future, and if you want to see any more of my work, you can go and visit my Etsy shop. Have a great day!